topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Mindset Marketing Mastery, the show that brings you the top speakers in the marketing and video industry. With your host, Marie Mason.
Okay, I'm ready to go dancing. All right, so I do that. I say that every week.
Hello.
How are you this week? You all ready to rock and roll?
Are we ready? And all the
Of
people
course.
there listening to us, ready?
I hope so. We're ready to rock and roll today. So anyway, oh my gosh, do we have a great show for you. So welcome back to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show with your host, Marie Mason, and my lovely and talented co-host, Pliny Phoenix. Our next guest, oh my gosh, our next guest is going to give you some fabulous tips on how to grow your podcast show from zero to hero. But first, we got a few things we wanted to tell you about, right? So, let me make sure I'm got some distractions put away because I love it when I'm on a Facebook Live and people are messaging you when you don't have time to talk. So let me get rid of distractions. So real quick, before we go onto the show, Pliny, would you like to sit there and talk about our merchandise on our shop?
Of course I do.
So
I want to see the mug over there, like Mary, your mug.
Yes, we got to put that in the screen, don't we?
Before we bring actually our amazing guest, we want to let you know that Marketing Mindset Mastery has a shop, and we have a great gift ideas for you, your loved ones. We have the mugs, like that one. There you go.
I think Vanna White.
Yeah, there you go. And we have also t-shirt, tanks, hats, backpacks, and a lot of stuff. So check it out. And these gifts are great for birthdays, anniversaries, and much more. Just up to your creativity, what you want to do with them. And currently we are only shipping, unfortunately, only USA and Canada. Only. Yeah, that's a lot. But let us know. For example, I'm in Ireland. I already request that, because if you are in another country, just please let us know. And the more people will ask from other countries, the better, because we can open the shop to them as well. Yep. So let us know. And if you'd like for us to ship, so please send us a message. So go to our website, libertyvirtualsolutions.com/shop. And don't forget, we have the YouTube channel as well, Marketing Mindset Mastery. So check it out and watch our videos and the previous episodes.
Yeah, we've got a year's worth of content already under our belt, and we are super excited. We're already well into our second year and cannot wait
to come.
I know, way more. I've been lining out speakers for you for the month of July, as all of June's slots are booked. And if anyone wants to be a speaker, we're always looking for fantastic speakers. So please also message me for that as well. So I always like to talk to my speakers beforehand. So yes, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for today's presentation. So, oh my gosh, Pliny, we're going to have some wonderful times together on this show because Chris Anderson is with us this week. And I've had lots of opportunities to talk with him prior to the show, and he's just a fantastic human being as well. So, as well as a great business owner. But really quick, Chris' background, he's a professional success and life coach from Tipton, Indiana. So he's kind of like, I guess, on the Midwest with me and for the U.S. So he helps successful entrepreneurs increase their reach and bring more clients to the podcasting. It's pretty much similar to what we do here. So but we just do it a different way. So as a success and life coach, though, he assists ambitious and goal-driven individuals to improve their mindset and begin building a life of fulfillment. And today's topic is how to grow your podcast show from zero to hero. Oh my gosh, what a great topic. Chris, take it away.
I love it. Yeah, from zero to hero. I love it.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. How are you doing, Chris?
Welcome, Chris.
Hey.
and it's kind of obvious who Chris's hero is in the background, don't you think? It's Captain America, right? Am I right?
A little bit, yeah. I'd say the guy over here is a bigger hero. It's Jesus, So.
Oh,
There you
amen,
go.
amen.
So it's
awesome.
not actually a coincidence that you called grow your podcast show from zero to hero.
Podcast hero. Yep, zero podcast hero. I love Marvel and DC and just superheroes out there. So it fit well with me and my personality and what I want to help people do. So
fantastic. Yeah. And I totally understand. I love all those series too. So
yeah. Do you have a favorite hero?
Oh, that's a good one. Wonder Woman comes to mind,
Nice.
but I think that's a different series. But I don't know.
DC's okay.
Yeah, DC's good. And then as far as the other series, I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. They make a good tag team, to be
Absolutely.
honest.
Yep.
I don't know. Do villains count? I don't know.
Sure, why not?
If I were going to choose a favorite villain, I liked the Catwoman or whatever.
Catwoman?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, she was pretty cool. I liked her. She kind of teamed up with Batman towards the end.
Right. She had
So,
some good in there. She had some good still.
Exactly. That's what I liked about her. She had some good more than bad. So that was cool. And I think it's true. The heroes, speaking of heroes, there's some good and bad in all of us. So we might even touch base about that later. But first, my first question is, what made you just decide to choose your career path as a coach for podcasting? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it kind of like veered off from what I went to school for and everything like that. So I went to school to be an athletic trainer. And I guess with that, I was helping people physically with their injuries and with their health and wellness. But I just really felt like there was more to life. There's more that I needed to do to help more people. And I really started seeing and having conversations with a lot of people, and they had so much potential and they had so many abilities to do so many great things, but they allowed the kind of program lifestyle we all kind of get drawn into, and the fear kind of stopped them. And so not only were they missing out on what truly like what all life really had in store for them if they would live into that, but there were so many people, from my perspective, missing out on themselves, on that person's potential and what they could bring to the world. So there are people missing out on their gifts because of just kind of, living that day-to-day lifestyle. And so I wanted to help other people see their potential, see their true potential, so they could leave a positive mark on the world. And so that's where Pencil Leadership, that's actually my LLC is Pencil Leadership, with the Zero Podcast Hero programs falling under that, because I wanted to focus mainly on podcasters. Because I love the platform. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. And it just had everything I wanted. I've been able to, interview over 100 guests and talk to thousands of people all over the world about, what they're good at, what they enjoy doing, how they've been successful. And it just opened up the door. It opened up the door for me to kind of do my own thing and have my own schedule and build the life I want. And so that's what led me to want to help other people do the same thing.
Perfect. No, that's brilliant. And I could actually hear the passion coming from you for that very, it
What I
shows your passion.
What I find really, really interesting is how you actually melted your passion for Captain America and all his friends and all the world with your coaching.
Yeah.
And podcast. I really find it interesting, because when you are a business owner, you don't really see, first of all, your superpowers. You don't see them. Only the others, I think, I can see them. But also, we start and we forget that what we love is what makes us. And I think everybody thinks that they cannot bring their personal choices or what they love in their spare time to their business. This is really interesting. It's something that you teach.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of people say, well, people are already doing that. There are already successful people doing that. But, I mean, we got so many people in the world that you start your thing, you're going to resonate with people differently than that person. There are people who are not going to like me and not like Podcast Hero because they hate comics, they hate superheroes. So hearing that, they're just going to be put off. And that's okay. There are other people that I know doing the same thing I do that are doing it well as well. that they might resonate with. Great. They're going to be people though who resonate with what I'm doing and like my personality and like my quote unquote jokes that I try to make. And they're going to enjoy it and they're going to get results, but they're going to get results from either individual, either coach. You're going to get results. And that's what we're here to work together to help more people do. Or at least we should be. Some people unfortunately don't see it that way, but yeah, you've just got to go out there and you bring your own special sauce to it. And no one's created just like you are. You're unique and you have abilities that other people don't. And the combination of weaknesses and strengths are specifically to you. So that's what I love about it.
Exactly. And it's so on point too. So I appreciate you sharing that. One of the things I was going to say something and then I totally, every one of those moments where just kind of blinks right out. I'm sure it'll come up eventually later.
Yeah.
And if I go off a tangent, you might know why, because I'll probably remember what it is. But anyway, but that brings me really to the next point. I mean, really, what is it like with, because I know that you started working at the 9 to 5 job, like most people who start their own businesses kind of start with a job first. So what was it like quitting your 9 to 5 job and what was before we even go into that, what was your 9 to 5 job prior to this? I want to ask you about that first.
Yeah. So, what I was doing before, I went to college, got my bachelor's degree in athletic training, and then got my master's in health and human performance. And so immediately after my undergrad, I moved to do athletic training in a high school setting. So I moved out of Indiana to Texas, where I'd never met anyone or known anyone down there. 2 months, got the job and moved. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to figure that out. So I moved down there, did athletic training, like I said, in the high school, middle school setting. And I was doing that for about 3.5 years. And then I was offered a position in industrial athletic training back here in Indiana, my hometown. And so then I did industrial. So in both aspects, I was basically the first half of my 9 to 5 career was with athletes. So helping them improve, helping them help their nutrition, help their mindset was huge, especially in the high school and middle school area. Like I love that area because high school and middle school individuals, kids, athletes, man, they're trying to figure out what, they think they need to figure out everything they have to do next. And so it was really cool to have those conversations. I was like, well, what do you enjoy? Like, what brings you passion? Is it really sports? Is this what you want to pursue? Or are there bigger things that you actually love to do and find joy from and are good at? So having those conversations was like the tip of the iceberg for me. Like being able to be like, well, if you really like this, why don't you start implementing things to kind of dip your toes in that while you're going to school and things like that. And so that was kind of the tipping point. And when I went to industrial, it was like the next level. I was with these blue collar workers that had been in the factory for like 20 to 30 years. And they're like, this is what it is. I'm going to work here for 10 more years. I'm going to retire. And, then I'm going to do this. I'm like, well, I mean, you really like fishing or what's your pet? Like, yeah, I wanted to do this back in the day, but everyone was just getting a factory job. And I'm like, well, you could still start something. Like, it's never too late. And they're like, well, I don't know. And they're just calling their old ways, but having those conversations and actually helping some people kind of start those passions. It was just so fun. So even though I was in athletic training in my 9 to 5, I was still having these kind of conversations like I have today in my business with those individuals. And that's kind of what led me to do what I'm doing. But yeah, athletic training was my 9 to 5 before.
Now I get that. I actually was a teacher. I did taught preschools for 15 years inside schools, had my own home daycare, 7 years of administrative work for different companies, for different CEOs of different companies. So on the executive level. So I've done all sorts of different things in the past.
Yeah.
But really what I'm passionate about is this marketing mindset mastery radio show, but that's my passion. But I also am passionate about helping business owners and real and coaches and speakers realize that despite this pandemic and despite anything that might go cuckoo and later on down the road, because let's face it, You never know what's going to happen during this
Right.
in this world, right? So just remember that you are enough. Like you said, you can make those pivots, you can make those changes, and you can grow your business during any uncertain times, whether it's
Yeah.
a life change or
Yeah.
a crazy world change. We're going to leave that one alone at that one. I'm not sure
I
that was a
think
crazy
that we
world change.
became all kind of heroes in this period because we had
did.
to change something. I was doing like I was doing confidence coaching. I was doing of course my gigs as a singer and an actor. But
Awesome.
or actress, I didn't understand. Do I have to say actor or actress?
You can say whatever you want. I say actress,
But
actress.
we all
So,
did that. And you know what happens?
Actress,
Now I'm working like crazy with people that want to become confident through singing.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, what? I didn't
That's
even
cool.
think about it. Just the people let me think about it. So sometimes we don't even need to do something crazy. It's just people telling us what to do. But talking about superpowers, Chris, how do you actually deal with the up and downs of the entrepreneurship? Do you need the superpowers, or
I don't know. I don't know if I say I have any superpowers.
How do you do that?
If I can do it, for those listening, you can do it. So if I can do what I've done, and I'm not saying that I'm some guru or some amazing, put on a pedestal guy. I'm not. I'm just like, a regular person from Indiana. I got cornfields all around me. I got chickens out back, and so if I can,
person.
I'm not anything special. I just, I took the risk and I took the leap, and I wanted something different, and I wanted to help a bunch of people with it. But how do I manage the ups and downs? First, just from hindsight, you have to understand there will be up and downs. Starting my career, my entrepreneurship business, it was scary. It's not this, entrepreneurship is hard. I don't care what people tell you. It's hard. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have those days where you just want to throw it in and be like, 9 to 5 was a lot easier. Just go to, do what everyone else told me to do. But
at 5, you go just home and you forget about it.
You can forget about it. Nope, not with entrepreneurship. You got to always, and then life, and we're expecting our first kid this year. So it's like everything you've got to balance. You got to prioritize. So how do I manage? I think it's understanding how to prioritize. Because even though I was helping people with their health and wellness and athletic training, getting into entrepreneurship, that's a lot of times the first thing that goes. And I could see it with me because I wanted to push, I wanted to hustle, and I wanted to get all these results right out of the gate. And so I was slacking off on some of the other areas of my life that needed the care, my health and my mental sanity. And so finally realizing to prioritize what keeps me sane, what keeps me healthy, and what keeps my relationships healthy. So with my wife, with my family, with my friends. So that was a big part of it, prioritization of my schedule, because I don't have to be everywhere and communicate with everyone at every moment. If I get a DM, I don't have to answer it right then. Scheduling out time. So prioritizing my time was a huge way to manage the ups and downs, and then just working on my mindset was a big part of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you said that about your 9 to 5 mentality and stuff, because one of the things I remember is when I went in business for myself, no matter how bad a day could be, because sometimes let's face it, we all have had bad days, even as a business owners, right? And entrepreneurs. But my worst day, even at my own job, is still better than some of the best days I've had at my 9 to 5 job. That should tell you something. But anyway. But
also what you said, saying, first of all, recognizing that there are ups and downs.
Yep.
Up and downs are part of our
everyday life.
Yeah.
It's just like podcasting. People start podcasting and think it's going to be, I just got to put it out there, and it doesn't matter what it sounds like. It doesn't matter what the structure is, and people will come. You better build it and they will come. That's not true.
There's a lot of work.
Yes, I know, right? Crazy. You got to put work into something. No instant gratification in podcasting and entrepreneurship. But you got to understand that, and you got to make light. You've got to make it real when you have those bad days. I think it was David Goggins I heard say he gives the 2-minute rule to any emotion. So if he just has a really big success, maybe a deal goes through, or maybe he PRs in a race or something, he gives himself 2 minutes to be pumped and celebrate those wins. But if he has a really bad moment where maybe he loses a client, or maybe he, has something negative happen, he realizes that, like, hey, this sucks. And he gives it 2 minutes so he can be pissed off. And so he can, go have that negative emotion, that anger, because anger's okay. It's how we respond to it. And he gives it 2 minutes. And after those 2 minutes, okay, you give it the light of day. It's over. Now we're going forward, and either good or bad, because those moments have happened and they're done, and we have to now improve.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And it's true. It's all about how you handle those negative emotions.
Yeah.
I think we get one quick question in before we have to go to commercial break. So let me ask you this, and you kind of touched on it on that last statement, though, but what makes entrepreneurship worth it? And I think it was the good stuff. Can you highlight that?
Yeah, what makes entrepreneurship worth it is, there's a couple things for me. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs think or have the same kind of mindset, is the freedom that it allows you to have in your life. Not necessarily freedom to buy a bunch of material things, but the freedom to be there for a friend when they need it, because you have the opening in your schedule. Freedom to be with family when that time comes, because you have that availability and because you can have the flexibility in your schedule. Freedom to, grow financially more than what you could possibly do in a 9-to-5, to be able to give back, to be able to invest in people, in organizations. So I think the freedom is one big reason that makes it worth it. The second, for me, is the impact, the positive mark that I can leave with what I'm doing and what other people can do as well. So I would say the freedom, and then the positive mark we can make on others.
That's brilliant. Perfect. And that's true. Leaving a mark in the world, leaving a legacy. So that's awesome. And I think we're getting ready to go to commercial break. So, Pliny, would you like to do the honors of sending us to a commercial break? And we'll put you all we'll be bringing you back out for the second half, Chris, just to let you know. Pliny, you want us to take us to the close, or to the commercial? Okay, I guess she's having some technical difficulty, so I'll take over. So anyway, that brings us to our conclusion for this first half of the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show. I want to thank Chris Anderson for sharing such valuable tips for our audience and helping us grow themselves and their business on the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show, with the topic of your podcast is from zero to hero, which he has more wonderful juicy tips on how to do that when we get back. So Chris has agreed to stick around for the second half of the show and answer questions from our audience and continue giving us valuable action steps as well, so that you can do to grow your podcast. That ends this segment of our show. You're listening to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show with your host, Marie Mason. Sorry for my voice, guys. And my lovely and talented co-host, Pliny Phoenix. And we will be right back. We're going to a commercial break now.
We're taking a short break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Marketing Mindset Mastery, the show that brings you the top speakers in the marketing and video industry, with your host, Marie Mason. The show is brought to you by Liberty Virtual Solutions. We work with business coaches and speakers to help them market and host their webinars and upsell their coaching programs and develop heart-centered relationships with their audience. Welcome back to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Show with your host, Marie Mason, a premier podcast that helps you master your marketing skills.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we missed you there for a second there, Pliny. I think the internet gremlins got you. So anyway, do you want to bring us back into the show?
Yes, so welcome back to the Marketing Mindset Mastery Radio Show. I'm Pliny Phoenix, the host, and Mary Mason, the host. And we have with us Chris Anderson, success and lifestyle coach from Tipton, Indiana. So Chris already told us a lot of tips in the first part. So if you missed it, check out our YouTube channel for to know them, right? But now Chris is still here because he's gonna talk about podcast and how to go from zero to hero. So podcast about your business or about something that you love. Right, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. And you could do either. I mean, if you already have a business, podcasting is a super beneficial way to grow your reach, bring in more clients and monetize. And then if you don't have a business, you can make a podcast about really anything. And majority of those shows, if done right with the right strategy, can grow and be monetized to become a business themselves. So again, another reason I love podcasting.
Awesome. So it's just to transform in a passion that you have into an idea, and then that can grow. You never know where to go, right?
Yeah, because there's going to be people who want to hear that topic or learn about that topic, or true crime. They want to hear those kind of topics, things like that. And you can either build a community that's a paid community, or maybe it's some sort of topic that you can teach, and you can have programs, courses, and things like that on top of affiliate marketing and sponsorships. So,
awesome.
Wow. Yeah. How long does it take, to put everything together to make, I guess now the competition is really hard. There is a lot of stuff out there. It's really hard to find a good angle that the others didn't touch to stand out. But I think if you talk about your passion, I think you can stand out anyway because the angle is you. Yep. But how long does it take to make something that it's worth all the hassle to put it out there, and how to launch, and how it needs, how much time?
Yeah, so to the launch itself, we in our course, we highly recommend people giving a month to launch, because that gives you time to build up your launch team, to get your marketing strategy in place, and be able to do it successfully and get everything ahead of time, so you're not kind of trying to run and backtrack once you launch. So, but we've launched people in a week before, so it's doable. It just depends how much time you want to put into it. In that
what do you mean about launch? Is about marketing? It's
the launch of the show.
Doing work before.
Yeah, the launch. So basically is when you go live in the podcast directory. So like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So the launch is, getting your marketing strategy ready, which we walk you through how to do, how to start building your audience ahead of time to get people ready and excited, to get you kind of have a handful ready to go. So when people go find your show, they have things to listen to up you in the kind of algorithms. And then how to sequence and get the flow of episodes going, so you're not running around trying to figure out, I'm launched, now what I do. So yeah, we just want you to get started on the right foot successfully, so you can build from there, which then of course is audience growth and then monetization.
What do you need to know to do this? Is anyone can do a podcast? Can pull off a podcast, or do you need special skills to do it?
No, yeah. Like I said, if I can do it, anyone can do it. You don't have to have anything special. You can start with your phone, and just trying to get the best setup you can. I mean, sit in a closet. I've recorded in a closet with clothes and blankets around me just to get decent audio. I've upgraded since with my tech, but yeah, anyone can do it at any time, as long as you're just putting the best quality and the best content out there. And this is key. So this you need to write down, know your audience, be specific. People, so a lot of the times they don't want to get specific on who they're talking to or what topic, because they think it's going to shut them off from growth. But in turn, it's the opposite. A friend of mine told me being specific prints money. And we could say that being specific grows your audience. It's the same thing. because people are going to want specifically that topic. And in marketing, you might have heard is when you try to speak to everyone, you actually speak to no one. And so we really want to harness and get tight on who exactly we're talking about, creating that ideal listener avatar. And that goes with the pre-launch stage, figuring out who we're actually speaking to. So they're already looking for this. So marketing to them will be a lot easier.
So, Chris, that brings me up to a perfect. Let's give us an example. You agreed to be a guest on my show. What was it about my presentation that attracted you to come to our show?
Yeah, just the value you're putting out there, and you're talking about marketing mastery, marketing mindset mastery. So like it was a direct topic, and marketing is such a big thing. People they don't really think about it. They think, oh, I'm going to talk about this topic because I really like it with my neighbor who will we'll maybe have a couple drinks during it, but they don't think about who they're speaking to. They don't think about the person receiving that episode, and that's what we have to think about because we might want to put out certain episodes or topics that the listeners, they don't care about. And that again is what we need to do. So yeah, you just the approach you had, the professionalism, obviously, but the topic marketing, I knew I could add value or do my best to add value, and knew that you had an audience that wanted to know how to market, how to get in front of more people.
Which is a perfect lead in. Thank you for that compliment. And then I appreciate that. And then you've been a great guest so far. So I wanted to ask you this as a follow-up question, because something you said earlier about marketing strategies. Could you kind of give us at least a tip on a marketing strategy that you would recommend for podcasting? Because I know people want to grow their podcasts.
Yeah. And that's our phase 2 program is actually grow your audience. And we walk you through 12 weeks of information. And so the strategies we use, the first one's mindset, just like marketing mindset mastery. We've got to get ourselves right. If we we don't have the right mindset, any negativity is going to derail the whole journey. And so then from there, then we dive into, okay, who is your audience? Who are those 2 listeners, female, male, that you're talking to? What are their characteristics? Do they, get up early to go to work and come home and then take care of the family? Or, are they single? So they go grind one job and start a second one because they're trying to build something, a bigger future, or is it a CEO who runs a business that, loves camping on the weekends? Just depending on your topic, you got to know these listeners like the back of your hand, know the details of who they are. And be able to, because when you do, you can speak their language. You can then find where they're at and collect data on how to market. So when you find them where they hang out, you can see what wording they use, what kind of content they actually like intaking on social media, how they interact, and the time frames. They like shorter or longer episodes. So marketing strategy is really knowing who you're speaking to, learning them really well, and then going and collecting data from them. After that, you just start to, A/B test. So 2 versions of things to get an idea which they like better. And you just continue to grow and improve along the way.
So, for example, you would sit there and safely say that, and with regards to marketing, I mean, you would probably sit there and find out what their pain points are too, and be able to address those pain points in the content that you're trying to share with them. Would that be accurate?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to know what they like, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and then what they're kind of yearning for, what those pains are. Even with true crime, those listeners, their pain might be that they're busy all day and they just want something to, zone out and listen to and find that entertainment. So it can be done for any kind of topic.
Perfect. No, thank you for that. Plenty, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I was wondering. I love thinking about groups of 3. So the 3 things that podcaster need absolutely to do to be successful with their podcast.
Yeah, the 3 things that in my opinion, podcasters need to do to successfully grow or to have a successful podcast is just be yourself. That's the first one. We can model our shows off other shows that are successful. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing new under the sun. So everyone models off of something, and they pull pieces and build their own model. But being you, one, it's easier. It's not as taxing. So if I went out and tried to be Joe Rogan or, whoever, I have to act like that. It's going to take a toll. It's emotionally be hard because it's just not me.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to put toward, like, as an actress, when you get into character, it's a lot of energy when you have to try to act like someone else. I did drama in high school and the musicals and stuff. So like, it's a lot of energy. So the first one, be yourself. You just got to be you, because that's going to bring the people who like you anyways, and it's going to be easier. The second one to successfully grow is it's knowing that audience. You've got to know that ideal listener, and be able to cater to them and bring them a special experience. And then the third is just connection, networking and connection. I would say combined. It's all relationships. That's the big thing. Marie, we connected on social media and just had conversations, helped each other out, gave tips, all that, which led to this, which who knows what could lead to in the future for both of us. And so
I'd to collaborate with you on something. No worries.
Absolutely. And so just connecting with those listeners, with those followers on social media, connecting on a genuine level. Hey, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for interacting with my stuff. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Is there anything I can do for you? Anything you would like to hear? It just opens up the door, and you start what we call building those raving fans within your community.
Perfect. No, that's awesome. Yeah. But it's so true. You bring up a good valid point, and that is building relationships is the first key in marketing. It's getting to know, and it starts from the word hello or hi or hey, or however people greet you. So
when you started to talk, you started to know the other person.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what we want.
Yep. Because when you the ideal listener, the ideal listener avatar, but then when you actually connect and talk with a real person within that target area, then you get to know them on even a different level, like what hobbies they actually have, like what do they go out and do on the weekends, what are they looking like. So it just builds that profile out even more, because more people are going to fall into those, so you can speak to those different touch points a lot better.
Perfect. Brings us, I have one quick question for you. Who is your ideal target market for your coaching business? I figured I'd ask while we're on the topic.
Yeah, my ideal kind of target listener, whatnot, is that individual who started a podcast, who still got their 9 to 5, but deep inside, like they have a passion, have a longing to be something different, to get to that next level, to build that freedom, because they want time to spend with their family. They want time to go experience life and to travel and to see things. And they're tired of having their time dictated and guided by someone else who will replace them at a snap of a finger. And so they get discouraged sometimes because it's a tough process. And so they're longing and learning and leaning in to learn about how they can grow, how they can improve themselves, improve their shows so it can be a better business. Then in turn, they can go out and add more value and leave a bigger positive mark on the world.
Brilliant.
That's great. Now I'm curious, though. I have to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What's the possibility with the real possibility with the podcast where you can go to? Like, what is possible for a person that is starting out and is actually thinking now about, I would love to do a podcast. What is possible for them? Like, what we can do with it?
Yeah, honestly, there's so much possibility. There really is. I never thought that I'd be, and this is not to inflate my ego, because there's people doing better than me, but I never thought I'd be in the top 5% globally listened to shows on every continent, over 40 something countries.
Oh, that's great.
Charting. Thank you. Like, I never thought I would be that. So again, this is truth. If I can do that, you can do it, because you just have to have that dream, have that passion to be able to get over the tough times. But there's so much potential there. and with the right strategies in place, with the right mindset, you can make such a big impact. And then you can even make an impact in your life through the financial freedom, through the time freedom that it could create.
Perfect. How long did it reach you to get to that? Or it actually looks like Fanny and I had the same question in mind. So we're reading each other's minds today. So, but seriously, how long did it take you to reach that level? Because I've been in business for just over a year when it comes to this podcasting,
Mhm.
maybe 2 years if you count when I actually started before
Mhm.
the being picked up by W4CY.com
And I'm
radio.
thinking about a podcast, so
Awesome.
that's
Which you
why
know-
all my questions are really genuine here.
That's awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So we definitely would like to know how long it took you to reach that success level.
Yeah. So I started in my podcast and business in November 2019. And so I haven't been doing it 2 years yet. So about a year and a half. I went full time in my business last year.
Is that
really,
you do once a week?
I do a show a week. Yeah, that's correct. Yep. And so really it's, I mean, how long did it take me to reach that level? I didn't track the numbers very much until recently, because people wanted to know, like, I mean, or how do you even have a good show? Like, so honestly, I don't know how long it took me to get there. And that probably sounds bad, but actually, and I tried to teach people, don't focus on the numbers. You want to kind of glance at them. You want to see they're headed in the right direction consistently, but we want to focus back on who we're talking to and what we can provide to them. So how long? A year and a half, I guess, because that's the longest I've been in it. So.
Well, awesome. Well, that's the other question is how do you, and I hate to ask you this, but how do you monetize a podcast? Because there's ways to do that effectively.
Yeah. The first thing everyone thinks is sponsorships. I got to get people to pay for ad spots on my show. I don't have any ads on my show. It's something I don't necessarily want to have. I'll mention my affiliate links, which that'll be the next part I'll talk about, but sponsorship is one way. Basically having ad spots through businesses. And I know a lot of people who, they have really good, it's all about connection. They have really good connections in their communities. And so they go to these businesses and show them, even if they don't have downloads, show them where it's headed. You can show through data of other podcasts in the same niche, like it has trending growth. Podcast sponsorship is growing. It's becoming a bigger and bigger platform for businesses to get involved in. So sponsorships is one. And if you have good connections, you can get decent money from sponsors. The second is affiliate marketing. So partnered with services, programs, influencers, things like that, who sell something where you'll get a special link to share. And if someone uses your link, you'll get a percentage of that. So for example, my Zero Podcast Hero Grow Your Audience program, we give affiliate links to our members in that. They get 20% of the program through their special link. So if they were to go on their show and say, hey, and if you're looking to start a podcast, you need to check out the Zero to Podcast Hero Grow Your Audience show, which is what I did to grow my listener and improve my show, blah, blah, blah. Someone uses their link, they get 20% of the commission of that, and we get to help more people. So affiliate links, they stay there because they're an episode, they're evergreen. So people will continue as it grows. We'll go back, listen, they'll hear those affiliate links. They'll always be there. And that's one big push for sponsorships is you can say, hey, you're going to be in this episode forever. Like it's going to always be there. So if anyone ever goes back and listens to this episode, you're not paying anymore, but it's going to be there. It's going to be on social media. So that's one way. The third, and this is a big one because you can do it really quickly, is membership programs and courses, something of that nature. So teaching, providing value, creating a community. And I love that because it just builds more relationships.
Awesome.
That's great. It was everything great. I want to do a podcast even more now. I'm pretty sure the people listening and watching as well. Chris, how can people actually connect to you? And do you have anything for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can connect with me at chris.t.anderson on Instagram, and my profile there connects to my podcast Instagram and my Zero to Podcast Hero program Instagram as well. So they can connect it all at chris.t.anderson, and you'll see all that there. And yeah, specifically for your listeners here at the Marketing Mindset Mastery Show, if you're looking to launch a podcast or grow your audience or both, we're giving 20% off our programs for you all. And so they can message me again on Instagram at chris.t.anderson with Mindset Mastery, Marketing Mindset Mastery, Marie, Pliny, whatever you want to message, I'll know. And we'll get you hooked up with the 20%
Let's
off.
Talk about the episode. And
yeah.
There is a 20% for you guys.
Yep.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much. And then
No problem.
what kind of action step can you give our audience to get started in podcasting?
For sure. What action step I'd say is really, figure out why you want to start one. Know the reason. Because if it's not a solid reason, when it gets hard, when it gets a lot of work, you're going to be like, okay, peace out. And that's why so many do burn out, because they don't have that anchor, that reason. So get a good solid reason. Make sure it's why you're doing the podcast.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe it's the last few minutes of the show?
We have the 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. And so I did want to ask you, is there a way that someone can connect with you? Like, is there like a link? Is it just one location? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Twitter, or is there another place that people can?
Yeah. I mean, you can Instagram at chris.t.anderson, Facebook. You can join the free Zero to Podcast Hero community, the group there. You can check out pencilleadership.com, my website. Those would be the main places.
Sweet.
That's
well,
great.
thank you so much for being such an
Thanks for
awesome
having me.
guest. Oh, you were
Thank
so
you,
much
Chris.
fun. We're going to have you again, definitely.
Hey, I'm open.
Awesome. Love it. So, and I can't believe it's almost the end of the show. It's just so, I don't know, it just goes by so fast. So anyway, long story short, because I seem to sometimes get rambly sometimes, but I just want to say thank you so much for being here and adding so much value about podcasting. And oh my gosh, Zero to Hero. I guess you guys, if you have a podcast in mind, go talk to Chris or go talk to us, because we can get you hooked up too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's all about who you relate to, right? It's all about who you connect with. So definitely grab his link at it's a Linktree, and it's linktr.ee/chris.t.anderson. And is that a .com after that, or no? I just want to make sure.
It should go without it.
Okay, good with that. So no .com on that one. Gotcha. So that's his website, and definitely get that information for you. It's a premium offer, 20% off. Totally encourage you to go do that. And the radio page and the radio station, as well as YouTube, will be. I'm going to be better at putting those information out there. I'm actually in the process of adding my replays to my website, which is Liberty Virtual Solutions. So that's going to be launched pretty soon, and we'll be having all the offers from our speakers on there as well pretty soon. In the process of working with my web developer on that as we speak, actually. So it's going to take some time to get them all loaded, because there's a lot of them. But anyway. So, Pliny, would you like to close us out?
Yes. So thank you so much for watching today, for listening to us. Chris, thank you so much for telling us all those tips about launching your podcast and going from zero to hero.
No problem. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you. So join us again in next episode. Every week, Marketing Mindset Mastery, great tips, ideas, how to make your marketing and mindset work for you. So our guest in next week's show, we provide again more tips for the success of your business. So every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, here on W4CY Radio, Marketing Mindset Mastery. I'm Pliny Phoenix with your host, Mary Mason. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye.
Go to our radio page and check out the gifts from our speakers. We'll see you next time on Marketing Mindset Mastery with your host, Marie Mason.